your bank statements are more important than your credit report or score. The credit report is the crime scene. But if you look at the bank statement, that gives you all the clues you need to let you know how your credit report and your score ended up in the shape that it's in. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Robert, and on this channel, we simplify the home loan process. We're in the month of June, National Home Ownership Month, and a lot of you have the goal of becoming a homeowner or moving up on the property ladder, so on and so forth. I'm going to go into the one document that most people overlook, but it's really the DNA to your financial life, and that's your bank statements. Let go. Number one, non-sufficient funds. If you have non-sufficient funds in a statement that you're sending, first of all, I want you to stop. Let's stop the bus. Think about that a little bit. You're trying to borrow hundreds of thousands of dollars, and either you were just not paying attention to what you submitted, or you really don't understand how important your ability to repay is. And so if you have non-sufficient funds anytime, especially prior to you applying for a home loan, I want you to stop. Stop the madness, because you have to figure out what's going on. Was it a one-time scenario situation where you may have had just unexpected expenses that decimated your account balance and emergency fund? Well, if that's the case, you don't need to be applying for a home loan. We need to rebuild that fund so that when you represent yourself to the lender, you can show that you have the ability to repay. I want you guys to say that with me. Ability to repay. That is one of the major themes that came out of the great housing crash. Dodd-Frank and all of that is not just credit scores, but it's the ability for you to maintain your home, your payment, and do so for the length of the loan. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, ATM fees, guys. Now, ATM fees are probably contributing to the non-sufficient funds. You should not be with a bank that is charging you ATM fees. There's a ton of them out there. None of them are sponsoring me, so I'm not going to say any names, but a quick Google, quick AI, whatever your method of researching is, you should be able to find one of those situations where you don't pay for ATM fees, checking account fees, savings fees. Why? Think about it. How much is the bank, in a lot of these cases that I'm speaking about, paying you back? I'm here to tell you, I'm here to sound the trumpet. You got to get out of paying unnecessary fees, and every little bit matters. Remember, we're changing our mindset to a wealth mindset, and that's not always about money and material things. It's about being proactive and understanding, knowing what your documentation says about you. Number three, buy now, pay later. That's becoming more detrimental than payday loans and title loans. And the folks that do that type of borrowing, you see they're always chasing their tails. Buy now, pay later, again, has capitalized and captivated a lot of you that want to buy a home, and you don't understand that it's an undisclosed debt. And the reason I want to harp on that is they make it virtually impossible for you to see what your annual percentage rate is or the terms of the loan that you're getting. It's a loan. I challenge you, if you have any of these accounts, pull up the annual percentage rate. I'm going to pause right there and I'm going to restate the first three. And these first three, in my opinion, if you find yourself participating in this or this happening to you, you're not ready to buy a home yet. You have to figure out the income piece. not just the credit score, but the ability to repay. Number one, non-sufficient funds. You've actually gone through all your funds and the bank is saying, hey, you're negative. ATM fees. If you're going to ATM fees incessantly, something's going on. That's a symptom of a bigger problem. And then buy now, pay later. I would like for you to find your annual percentage rate and find out what the loan terms are on those shoes that you bought or the bag, whatever, concert tickets, vacations, whatever they've done to make it easy. Because even those of you that says, well, I'm not being charged interest. Nothing's free. They're not doing it for free. There's a cost. You just have to find it. So if you find yourself in those three places, I think you need to pause. You need to sit down and figure out what's going on financially before you take on the expense of owning a home, not just buying one, owning a home. That's a difference. Now, the second set of things that I want you to understand with a bank statement that we look at more so than your credit score is cash transactions. I saw some bank statements from a business owner Tuesday, right? And so there's a lot of cash revenue coming in. And this what really gets a lot of you guys online when you listen to these gurus and they say, well, you know what? I made $40,000 this month. What's the net? What's the net? That's after all the expenses and everything. What's the net? What are you paying taxes on? Right? Same thing with business owners. You might have a lot of money coming into the account, but after I look at $20,000 coming in on the first, and then the 15th, you got $7, then are you really making money? You might have a high revenue, but are you making any profit? When we see money come in and then it leaves, money comes in and then it leaves, and then you guys come with the application with these pre-qualifications, and say, I make $20,000 a month. No, you don't. You might generate $20,000 a month, but when we crunch the numbers, what's left over is $300-$400. And so these are things that you can look at with your bank statements before you approach a lender. You can look at these things and say, you know what, Robert said, I need to understand the deposits, the beginning balance in the month, and then the ending balance. They should be very close, if not increasing. That is an indication of, if you're in business, a great business, or someone that knows how to handle their money. The bank statement will tell everything, because this is how you're transacting. Moving forward, if you want to take advantage of some of the non-qualified mortgages that are out there, definition, non-qualified mortgage does not go through the same scrutiny that a traditional mortgage goes through. You don't have to produce your income per se as in the form of a pay stub. You don't have to show your bank statements. Okay. You might have a 1099 type program where you could take the 1099s for the year and have a expense factor ratio that we apply to it and say, this is how much money I'm making a year. And some of you guys might be able to do that, but then 6 months later, when you can't make your mortgage payment, it's because you really didn't make the money. So is the goal to buy the home, or is the goal to own the home, control the home, and make it work for you and your most valuable resource? That's you and your family. This is something a little different, not getting on here parroting stuff that folks parrot online all the time to get in your pocket. But this is from a practitioner, 20 plus years, helping folks just like you get onto the housing ladder, get into a home successfully, and helping them trade up or trade down, tap into equity, controlling it the whole time, but being able to deal with the ebbs and flows with taxes and insurance as you own the property, so it could be a blessing. My license number National Mortgage Licensing Systems number is 180-100, 180-100. You can put that into the consumer access of the National Mortgage Licensing System and check me out. Check out the provenance. And that's what you should do with everybody that you think you want to deal with when it comes time to make the largest purchasing decision that most adults make in their life, and that's to become a homeowner. In closing, guys, here's the deal. Credit scores, your credit history, your character matters, right? Your word is all you got at the end of the day. But when it comes to lending, here's the deal. As a lender, we want to lend money. Why? Because you make money off the interest. It's not no one wants to lend you money, but your bank statements, my. If you understood how important your bank statements were, you would really feel what I'm feeling now. Here's the homework assignment. Most of us transact online now with some type of device. I want you to look in the description of this video, and I want you to download the checklist, the application checklist. And specifically, I want you to get your bank statements. When I say get your bank statements, I mean download them. If they're electronic, go to the bank, find the statement section, download your statement in the form of a PDF onto your desktop or in some type of electronic folder. Heck, some of you guys need to print it out. And for a lot of you guys, it'll be the first time that you're doing this. And it's really going to be an eye opener, because a lot of folks that I talk to that say, hey, you know what? I don't know where the money's going. It's because you're not looking at the statements, because the statements knows, right? It just tracks you. It's your behavior. Don't beat yourself up. Download the most recent 3 statements. Go back 90 days, sit down, get you a cup of coffee, you and your spouse. It's not a beat up time, and go through line by line and calculate how much your net income is, what you really have coming in, not what you feel like or what you project, especially those of us business owners looking at the real numbers. And then get your expenses, right? And see what's going on. If you have any non-sufficient funds, red flag. We need to stop the bus and figure it out right now. If you're paying excessive fees, such as ATM fees and checking account fees and all that, you need to get to the 21st century, man. You need to stop. You need to find then a place to put your money where it's actually making some money. If you're buying now, paying later, right? We need to find out. If it's a convenience thing, convenience kills. It really does. Just look at all the convenience we got going on and all of the control you're losing as a result, and you're paying for it. But check out those buy now, pay later. There's a myriad of them. We know the big ones are Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay. They got all kinds of buy now, pay later. You could get a loan if you can't make your payment. Straight loan sharking going on out here. And then Cash App, Zelle. Why are we getting all these cash payments? But where is all of this cash coming from? Because your lender's going to want to know. Why? The government wants to know. Why does the government want to know? All of these home loans get packaged and sold eventually to an end investor through the government, through mortgage-backed securities or mortgage bonds. That's the game. So find out why you're transacting in cash. It's easy, but when it comes to documentation, it's very difficult. Make your life easy. And then if you have a lot of money coming in at one time of the month and it's leaving, that's a problem. Not only for potential home ownership, but just life in general. If what I said to you makes sense and you say, you know what, Robert, I want to move forward, well, you're in luck, because I do consultations. First 15 minutes is free. It's on me. Click the link in the top pinned comment or in the description of this video. Let me hear what it is that you're trying to achieve. If there's a fit, we can move forward. For those of you that are not ready to take that step, leave me a question down in the comment section on what it is that you would like to understand as far as the home buying process is concerned, or the next step. Check out these videos here. I've curated them because I believe they will help you continue that education until the time that you're ready to reach out. Be good to one another, guys. Let grace abound, and y'all stay blessed. Indeed.